Today I'm going to be addressing problems with the statement, what's true for you is true for you. Essentially, what I'm really trying to get at is the problem of relativism. Paul Copan, an analytical philosopher, puts it this way: truth is a belief, story, or description that matches the way things truly are. So relativism states that all truth is relative, that what's true for you is true for you, what's true for me is true for me. There is no absolute truths. There is no things that can be claimed to be true for everyone. But the problem is that it's logically insufficient, it's self-defeating. But when someone makes the claim that there is no truth, the thing that I would ask back is that true? If someone says there are no absolute truths, I would say, is that absolutely true? If someone were to say, you can't know anything for sure, I would say, do you know that for sure? You see, all I'm doing is simply taking the claim and turning it on itself. Truth and reality are inescapable. It's something that we all live with. We all are, subject to gravity. Truth, in that sense, is like gravity. You can't just say because someone doesn't believe in it, it doesn't affect them. No, truth affects everyone. Someone who's agnostic would say, you can't know truth. But that claim itself, once again, is self-defeating because they claim to know at least one truth, that you can't know any truths. You see, it's super simple to catch when we apply the claim to itself. And so I would challenge everyone that's watching is to listen out for these relativistic statements and try to turn them on themselves. When someone says one of these examples that we talked about, hey, you can't know anything for sure. Do you know that for sure? There is no truth. Is that true? All truth is relative. Is that truth both, is it true for you and for me? This ideology and these falsities that I'm pointing out, these self-contradictions that I'm pointing out, would be like for me to tell you that I cannot speak a word in English. Clearly, that's not true. I'm speaking to you in English. Or that there are no sentences over 4 words long. Like, that's clearly not true because as I'm making that statement, I'm contradicting myself and showing that it's not true. So does this solve all of our problems? Of course it doesn't. Essentially, my whole purpose in this video, combating relativism, was to get us to acknowledge, hey, there are true things about reality. There are true things. To say that there is no true things would be self-defeating because it's making a truth claim. So if Christianity is true, then it has serious implications. It has implications on the biggest questions we have: origin, our meaning, morality, and our destiny as humans. So to make the claim, Christianity is true for you, but it's not true for me. No longer, as you can see in this video, no longer can you say that. No longer can one say that, because the claim that Christianity is true is an absolute truth claim. It states that Jesus was a real person who lived, who claimed to be God, died, and rose again, to affirm that truth. That claim itself has implications not just for you, not just for me, but also for you, because it's a truth claim about reality. So no longer can we pretend that religion is like an ice cream shop and we go in and pick what sounds nice to us. I'm very familiar with New Age spirituality and how proper it might seem to say, hey, what's true for you is true for you, and we're all just figuring out our own truth, and that just doesn't work for me. It can work for you, what's true for you. You can go off in your corner and practice peacefully, but I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. Yeah, we can both practice peacefully, but if Jesus Christ really did claim to be God, was the Son of God, died and rose again, that has implications. It's not just true for me, it's also true for you in the same reality you live in the same historical timeline you live in. It has implications and effects for both of us. So as you can see, it's important, especially if one of these ideologies is true. If Buddhism is true, well, does Buddhism make truth claims? Yes, Buddhism makes truth claims about reincarnation. If reincarnation is true, it has an effect on me. It means that when I die, there won't be judgment. There will just be, a restarting cycle of me working out my karma. That would have real implications if Christianity is true. When I die, and Christianity claims that reincarnation isn't true, that would have implications for you too, because if you're living your life saying, hey, I'm just going to reincarnate in the next life, but really Christianity says that no, there is no such thing as reincarnation. It's appointed for a person to die once and then comes judgment. Has implications for both of us, me, you, him, and her. It wouldn't be like when I die, judgment is the case for me. And when my Buddhist friend dies, he goes into a reincarnation cycle. They both make truth claims. The truth claims cannot both be true. They're contradictory. And because of the contradictory nature of them, one has to be right, or the other has to be right, or maybe neither of them are right. But they cannot both be true. So relativism, in this case scenario, falls short completely. I hope that I'm making sense here. I hope that we're able to track with this. I'm really just trying to fight against the idea that if I were to say Christianity is true, you were to say, oh well, so what? It doesn't matter for me because I have my own truth going on. That cannot be true. If this is true, it has implications. If it's false, it has implications too. As an atheist, a previous atheist, if Christianity was true, it wasn't just true for the Christians, it was also true for me. As a previous atheist, if I were to say that Christianity is not true, if atheism is true, God doesn't exist. If God truly doesn't exist, it is true for the Christians as well, and the Muslims, and the Buddhists. You understand what I'm saying here. It wouldn't be true for Christians that God exists, and true for me as an atheist, a previous atheist, that God doesn't exist. He either does or he doesn't. So we know that relativism is false. We know that there are true things we can state. If we would try to say that there is no such thing as truth, we're actually making a truth claim. So essentially, we come down to the question of what is true. And that's what we're going to discover and look more into in further videos. And a point that I want to make about truth is that truth is not made to be determined by the individual, but discovered. It's rather made to be discovered. So something that is common that you'd see in 2020 is to say that people are determining their own truth. People are determining their own identity. People are determining what is true for them in their own reality. But as we saw, people don't make truth. People discover truth. So especially for the people watching this that are for social justice, if you were for social justice, even though the claim, hey, what's true for you is true for you, we're all, making our own truth, that seems very accommodating. It seems very peaceful and pro-justice. But as we have seen, this statement is actually not what you'd be for if you were a pro-justice person, if you were a justice warrior, per se. I know everyone watching this really does care about social justice issues, talking about racism, talking about sexual assault. So those are two really hot topics that I'm seeing right now. Even friends from high school I'm hearing having encounters and things of that sort. So those two issues are something that people really do care about. So let's play those things out in a relativistic ideology. Person A that's been sexually assaulted, talking to the person that assaulted them, saying that the sexual assault that you did to me really was wrong. It was wrong. It scarred me. I've had to do therapy. It's made me question things about myself. It's traumatically affected me. And it was wrong, and what you did to me was wrong, and I would love for you to apologize to me, to help me, work through some of the trauma. Person B says, hey, I actually think that sexually assaulting you was okay. I am more powerful than you. Also, intellectually, I was able to manipulate you. And I just don't see that was wrong. I think that I was just nature working out its course. It's true for you that sexual assault is wrong. It's just not true for me. What does the relativist say in that scenario? They're trying to say that it's absolutely true that sexual assault is wrong, but they couldn't consistently say that. They'd have to respond to the person saying, hey, I guess that's true for you, it's just not true for me. I disagree with you, but it is your truth. No, I don't think so. Racism, to say, for person A to say that, hey, my race is superior to yours, you are inferior to me because of the color of your skin. Person B, the relativist, says, I don't think, that's just not true for me. I guess it's true for you that you're more superior to me, but, it's true for me that that's not true. What are we doing here? Really? If you were pro-social justice, you have to be pro-truth. You have to be anti-relativism, although it might seem accommodating at the start. Now we're beginning to see how that is relativism and subjectivism is a poison to society, especially if you're trying to fight for things that are true. How are you going to fight for things that are true if there is no truth? I'm just going to wrap it up right there. So, sum it up, here we are. Relativism is self-contradictory and therefore false, and anyone who keeps trying to make the claims, hey, that's true for you, just not true for me, there is no truth, all truth is relative, stop. Because it's self-contradictory, it's not true, and it's not helping, and if you're going to fight for justice, you can't keep saying those things. 2, reality and truth are inevitable. 3, claims that contradict both cannot be true. If there's an orange in my fridge right now, there cannot both be an orange in my fridge and no orange in my fridge at the same time as I'm talking about it right now. Those are the 3 things I'd say to sum it up. And 4, if you are pro-justice, you have to be anti-relativism. You have to be. And 5, truth claims and reality, they have implications. If you have false beliefs, you can have negative consequences carried out, especially when the stakes are grave. And so those are the 5 things that I'm just going to sum it up with. But relativism cannot be seen as accommodating. It has to be seen as a poison, actually. A poison to what we truly care about. And I know that we truly care about these things because we're fighting for these things on social media every day. And I'm going to continue to fight for these things. You're fighting for truth. I'm going to fight for truth. But what things are true? That is what I want to discuss.